Yo, what's happening? It's Scott from Vandingo, and I am glad to have you back on the channel. I'm working on a crossbar for my extruded aluminum 80/20 roof rack, and so far I've made some good progress. This is an additional piece that's going on the roof rack because I need to put solar panels on there. We got 3 crossbars that are handling the Fiamma awning. I've got 2 crossbars that are separate of the Fiamma awning. Then I'm going to have manage the solar panels that are going to go on the Sprinter van. So this is the second crossbar. I had one already that was part of the kit that came with the roof rack, and had to order this separate set. And it's really because of the nature of the roof rack and the Fiamma awning. 3 crossbars are required to handle the structural responsibilities of the awning. So one that was, so there were 4 initially in the package that I got from the roof rack provider. So one of those is going to handle the solar panels, and I needed to get another one to take care of the, the other end of the solar panels, if you will. So I did the measurements up on the original roof rack, and I had ordered this black anodized 80/20, and for a Sprinter van, it's 50.5 inches. And then these cross pieces right here, it's not a cross piece, it's a vertical piece, is 6 inches, and then these elbows for support go in there with the two elbows for the footing. So let me dial you in a little closer so you can see this. All right, so 6 inches on the vertical, elbow here, which is 2 screws that have this kind of an insert that go in, and then you screw the 2 screws up into there to secure it, 2 screws down here, and then the feet. And then picture if this was the Sprinter roof rack rails, this would mount right on there like that. Okay, so that's the plan. Because we need to bring it down to the distance here to handle this piece here. All right. So essentially we'll take this little runner piece with 2 screw holes on it. We'll put it in here. I'll flip this up so I can see what I'm doing. All right, so we got that going. One more screw here from 80/20 and the 2-hole elbow. Maybe you can see that a little better. Screw that in. Try to make that flush. All right, that looks good. Feels good. Let's get these tightened up on this wall. Not tightening them up completely, but just enough to snug it so they don't move around. Next steps are I'm going to put the feet on that are going to connect appropriately with the roof rails. So this will go on here like this. Sorry, trying to give you a good look for it. We'll tighten that one down. There we go. And this is the, I don't know what the exact term is, but that's essentially the lock inside the extruded aluminum. We'll slide that down in here. Turn that around so it's a foot. There. I think, there we go. All right, so that one is essentially done as well. And finally, before we get outside and attach this to the roof rack, these are the attachment pieces that will go into the channels on the roof rack. So 4 of those, 2 on each side, and we'll simply slide those in to the roof rack itself, to the roof rails, and then connect it to this roof rack by way of this bolt. So now we're done. We got obviously a nice little beauty cap on there. Got the feet. We got a strong sort of gusseted triangle that is strong connection here. And this is a newly constructed crossbar that will join the 80/20 roof rack, and it will allow for us to put on the dual 200-watt solar panels that are going to go up on the roof. So we're in good shape for next steps. All right, folks, day 2, we get the additional cross member that's going to go up on the roof rack, and this is to hold our 200-watt solar panels that are going to sit side by side. I got the solar panels sitting over here in a box, and as soon as we get this fixed up on the roof to the right length, we're going to do a test fit on the solar panels to make sure they fit across the 2 cross members that I've got up on the roof. So let's go. All right, let's go. Baby up here. So real quick, from a previous video where we did the 12-volt air conditioner installation, my daughter had this idea of moving that crossbar, which started out as a lower crossbar, which came from the manufacturer. You can see here, this is the lower one. And she said, Dad, just flip it over, and that'll give you the room you need to clear the air conditioning unit. So it gave me a thought. So I don't know if you can see back there where the measuring tape is, right there. I flipped this bar over, okay? And also the new bar I just put in, which is right here. So I'm gonna bolt that down. I'm gonna bolt that bar down, and then those 2 will be what holds the solar panel from here over to that one. And then this Fiamma awning doesn't provide, 3 inches or more of sunblock coming in from this direction. So I've raised that one up, and I've raised that one up down there just by flipping it over. I'm going to install those and then just sort of do a test fit on the solar panels. So that's what's coming next. All right, here's probably a better look at it from this perspective. There's the flipped over roof rail. There's the original roof rail that came from the manufacturer. And these 2 L brackets are to hold an awning. So I've got an awning over there already, and I've got the appropriate mount set up for those. But I had this crazy idea, I may put an awning on this side. Anyway, that's nuts. It may happen, we'll see. But for now, you can see how this will raise the solar panels up higher, much higher than, a good 4 inches higher than what this would. And I can get blockage from the Fiamma when the sun's lower. So anyway, thought this made some good sense to manage the install. All right, just as a quick reminder, this is the attachment method for the 80/20 elbows that sit here on the roof rails. So it's got some notches on it, and you want to turn it square, and then you're going to hold on to it with your finger So we turn it square inside of here, so it's raised up slightly. Push it in. I already had one in there. So we're going to slide that under to where you sight it. Take your 80-20 hardware, or if you're using metric version, that certainly works as well. Get it somewhat snug, and we'll do the other side. So again, this goes in here, easily goes in the channel, but then you want to turn it this way, and that catches and notches to the roof rail. So we'll put this one on this side. Zip caught, so we got that in there. We don't need to go too tight. And then these two are for the other side. While I'm at it here, I can give you a little bit of a idea of the measurements I'm dealing with. So the solar panels themselves are about 58.5 inches long. They're 26 inches wide. And this happens to be about 53 inches from end to end. So if you put two solar panels together, you're right at around 53 inches, which, my way of looking at it, is just about perfect. And that one's done. All right, let's see if this little home gamer approach works. I'm gonna get the solar panels. All right, so two side-by-side solar panels is about 52 and some change. And this one clocks out at 53 inches. Okay, and then they're 56.5 long. Yeah, I got those two. I got this too far back. So 50, so I need to move it another 4 inches north towards the cab. So I just noticed something. I want to make sure that max air fan doesn't cast a shadow either. So instead of moving that one forward, I'm going to move this one back about 4 inches. And that way, take all shadows from this max air fan off the sun. They had a decent rating on Amazon. 9 bus bars, which are supposed to be good. They got 10 bus bars today, but these are still competitively priced. And there are 2 panels in here. Originally I ordered these and they came in and the box was bent and the aluminum bent up on top, and one glass panel was completely smashed as a result of how it was treated in shipping. So sent that one back, dropped it off at the old trusty UPS store to ship back to Amazon. This one was packaged very well, just like the last one, but the box was just bent. And in this case, let's see. Fingers in here. There she is. There is your 200 watt panel. There's another one in here. I'll try to treat it gently as best as possible. I don't want to smash it up. Now, this one had a bit of a problem too in shipment, even though it was packed well. And that there's a section right here that was bent. So this one's usable. I'm not sending them back again. If it was smashed glass and this was completely beat up, I'd send it back. But I think in this case, I'm good. And that little bubble and the fact that it's separated here slightly doesn't seem to cause a structural problem. But that was 2 shots at it, and this one's passable. The other one's in really good shape, and we're going to get them up on the roof and do that test fit. Real quickly here, let's confirm my measurements. So that's about 26, just short of 26.5. Width and 58 1/4 length. Good quality user manual. You get yourself a limited warranty, precautions, all the specifics, electrical parameters, series and parallel connections, and FAQs. It's a nice little setup from Bouge RV. A little bit of a sharp piece of aluminum right here. Okay. Let's get this up here carefully. Let's get the other one. Again, recommend gloves. Not very smart. I'm not using gloves because it's a little sharp on the hands. All right. So I gotta say, the Fiamma awning completely hides them on this side. Here, let's go up and take a look. There. Those look good. Fit nicely. And it's just below the height of the AC unit. So it's not sticking up there. Be nice if these were black anodized frames, but those were a hell of a lot more money. And I got a little cheap. I wasn't gonna spend for that. I guess I could paint them. Well, this side is where you can really see the panel sticking up. Intentional, right? I wanted that in order to bridge the distance above the Fiamma as high as possible, but it's a bit of an eyesore on this side, I have to say. I wonder if there's something I can do to sort of trim that out, or maybe it's just the other Fiamma on this side. Maybe that's the key. Anyway, let's get up there and take a look. I can see something right here. So I turn these so these are the 12-volt positive negative wires are on the back side, which means you have to bring the wires down and go back to the gland. I may turn those around so those catch. I mean, this thing's going to be windy anyway, but to some degree, before you get an air dam up front. I may put them up on this side and run the wires back to the gland. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'll show you what that gland looks like. Okay, here's that gland entry point. Probably going to need 2 of these. So we'll have one for the positive and negative coming off of the AC unit. And then another one of these to bring in the solar panel, positive and negative, down to the battery bank. So a couple of those are going to be needed, I think, for this setup. All right, guys, listen, that's a wrap for today. This is as far as I'm going to get with the solar panel install, but I did a test fit. Really happy the way these fit up here. And maybe be a little bit of an eyesore down this one side. We've got to think about, may not even do anything about it, but I'm going to bolt these up directly. So I'll put some holes in these solar panels and put a aluminum bar here that will connect these. And so we're good for today. There'll be another round of solar panels and the wiring that comes as this van build continues. So for all you soccer fans out there, great job Argentina and World Cup today. Thanks for being with me. If you like what you're seeing, hit that like button. Please subscribe, and more content to come. Cheers. Thanks. Be good, everybody. So I'm here to tell you accidents happen in van builds. Pulling the solar panels down, let a corner pop the ceiling right there. Pretty soft metal. Put a nice little dent in it. I'll have to sand that out and shoot some white paint because otherwise we're gonna have rust right there. Oops.